The sound of camera shutters filled Incheon International Airport this morning, but something was unmistakably different. Taehyung stood alone. No Suga beside him. No second figure walking quietly at his side, as fans had come to expect during their past public appearances. The flashes, the cheers, the chaos, all focused on one man this time. And as he waved gently before boarding his flight to Paris, fans couldn't help but ask the question that spread across every social media feed within minutes. Where is Suga? Taehyung's departure for Paris had been anticipated for days, but when he finally appeared at the airport in his elegant, understated outfit, a deep navy coat over a crisp shirt and perfectly fitted trousers, it wasn't just his fashion that drew attention. It was his solitude. He smiled softly, bowing to fans who had waited overnight, yet his eyes seemed distant, as if lost in thought. Some fans swore they saw a flicker of melancholy behind that calm gaze. Was it exhaustion or something heavier? Speculations began instantly. Why is he going alone? One fan tweeted, her words echoed by thousands of retweets within minutes. Didn't Suga promise to join the Paris event too? Another replied. The mystery deepened as no official statement came from HYB or their management. Suga's absence became the shadow beneath Taehyung's spotlight. For years, fans have adored the chemistry between Taehyung and Suga. Two contrasts perfectly balanced. Taehyung, with his romantic aura and dreamy presence, and Suga, the quiet genius whose calm energy grounds the group. Their friendship has always been a source of warmth to ARMY, seen in the way they laugh during interviews, exchange knowing glances during performances, or share moments of silent understanding on stage. But today, the harmony seemed fractured. Maybe Suga's working on something secret again, one fan suggested online. Others weren't so sure. But Suga never misses when it comes to supporting Taehyung's fashion appearances, wrote another. Something feels off. As Taehyung walked through the terminal, surrounded by flashes of light, there was a sense of deliberate stillness in his movements. No rushed steps, no sign of distraction. Yet every second seemed soaked in quiet tension. He stopped for a brief moment near the boarding gate, looked back at the crowd, and gave a small wave. Fans screamed his name, but some could sense a trace of longing in the gesture, like a silent goodbye, not just to the fans, but perhaps to something deeper. Could it be that the two members had chosen separate paths for now? Or was this merely a carefully planned moment, a pause before a shared surprise, yet to be revealed? The questions multiplied faster than answers could come. Even as Taehyung's flight took off, hashtags like hashtag where is Suga and hashtag Taehyung alone in Paris began trending globally on fan forums. Theories spiraled into emotional debates. Some said Suga might be recovering quietly from a private schedule, while others believed the two were intentionally keeping distance for creative reasons. Artists sometimes need solitude, a fan posted thoughtfully. Maybe this trip to Paris is Taehyung's way of resetting before something big. Yet the more logical the explanations became, the more the emotions swelled. Because for ARMY, this wasn't just a trip, it felt like a missing heartbeat in the rhythm of their bond. By the time Taehyung landed in Paris, crowds were already waiting at Charles de Gaulle Airport. He emerged through the glass doors looking effortlessly elegant, draped in a long beige coat that moved like poetry with each step. He waved again, smiled again, but his silence continued. No mention of Suga. No reassurance, no explanation. Just that gentle smile that both comforts and confuses at the same time. Reporters shouted questions from a distance. Taehyung, are you attending the Paris Fashion Week alone? Will Suga join you later? He didn't answer. He simply bowed lightly, then disappeared into a black car waiting outside, leaving fans to fill in the blanks with their hearts. Online, the emotional storm only grew stronger. Why does this feel so lonely? Wrote one fan under a viral photo of Taehyung sitting by the plane window. He looks beautiful, but there's something sad in his eyes. Another replied, maybe he misses Suga. They always travel together. Remember Tokyo, 2019. Others dismissed it, saying Taehyung was simply focused. But deep down, everyone felt it. Something unspoken was unfolding. Later that night, photos surfaced of Taehyung walking alone along the Seine, his coat fluttering in the Paris wind. The city lights reflected softly in his eyes, and for a moment, it looked like a painting, beautiful, haunting, and silent. Fans flooded the comments. This feels like the beginning of a story. Where is Suga now? Is this their way of telling us something? Meanwhile, Suga's silence on social media became another mystery. Usually, he's quick to post messages of support or share snippets from his day. But this time, nothing. No Wever's post, no Instagram update, no hint of presence. His absence became its own kind of presence, heavy, echoing, impossible to ignore. Some armies began piecing together clues from older interviews. They remembered Taehyung once saying that he admires Suga's independence, that sometimes they both retreat into their own worlds before creating something together again. Could that be what's happening now? Was this distance a sign of growth, not separation? Or was there truly a storm brewing beneath the calm exterior? Every photograph, every tiny moment from that morning at Incheon became evidence for fans who analyzed them frame by frame. One video caught Taehyung glancing briefly at his phone before tucking it away, his expression unreadable. Was he waiting for a message? A fan wondered in the comments. Maybe from Suga? The speculation only fueled the emotional fire burning across timelines worldwide. But beyond all the theories, one undeniable truth remained. Taehyung's solo presence in Paris marked a powerful, poignant moment in his journey. Alone but not lonely, silent but not empty. He carried with him a quiet confidence that spoke louder than any statement. Perhaps that's what he wanted fans to see. Not absence, but strength. Not distance, but growth. Still, for those who have followed their story from the very beginning, it's hard not to feel a pang of longing. Taehyung and Suga, the dreamer and the realist, the fire and the calm. Their connection has always felt like two worlds perfectly aligned. And today, for the first time in a long while, those worlds seem to drift apart. If only by a few thousand miles. Night fell over Paris. Taehyung was seen arriving at his hotel, stopping briefly to greet fans waiting outside. His voice was soft when he said, "Thank you for coming," his smile weary yet warm. The crowd erupted in cheers, but deep down, many wondered what his heart was truly carrying. Will Suga surprise everyone by joining him later? Will the two reunite at the fashion event in a way no one expects? Or is this the beginning of a new chapter where Taehyung stands alone, defining his own path in both fashion and artistry? The questions linger like smoke, unanswered yet intoxicating. One thing is certain. Every time Taehyung walks into the light, he leaves a trace of mystery behind. And this time, that mystery feels heavier than ever. The night in Paris grew colder, yet the lights shimmered brighter than ever, a reflection of Taehyung's quiet presence in the city that never sleeps. Hours after his arrival, fans who gathered near his hotel reported seeing him standing by the balcony, looking down at the streets below where dozens of armies waited. Wrapped in a soft gray sweater, hair tousled from travel, he waved faintly before retreating inside. It was only a few seconds, but it sent a ripple through social media like thunder in the calm night. "Why does he look so alone?" one fan tweeted, attaching a blurry but emotional photo. "I can feel the distance even from here." Another wrote, "If Suga were with him, he would have been laughing right now. This feels so different." The thread caught fire, gaining thousands of comments within minutes. Everyone had a theory, but no one had an answer. Back in Seoul, reporters tried to reach HYB for a statement, but no official comment was released. The silence only added to the storm of curiosity. Was this a deliberate move, a story unfolding with careful precision, or simply coincidence? Those who knew Taehyung's artistry understood that even his silence often spoke volumes. He has a way of turning moments into metaphors, of transforming ordinary gestures into poetry. Maybe this was another one of those, a narrative in motion, waiting for meaning to emerge. At the same time, fans noticed that Suga had been unusually quiet online for nearly a week. His last post had been a serene photo of the sky, captioned with only one word, "Breathe." It suddenly took on new meaning. Was he taking time for himself, away from the spotlight, away from the rush of appearances and flashing cameras? Or was it something deeper, something connected to Taehyung's you?